Apes, together, strong. That's a horrible Caesar impression. I think that's how they do it. Anyways. What's up, guys? Welcome to another mega review. I'm here reviewing War for the Planet of the Apes. That's right. I went to go see this film on Thursday, but I'm giving you a review kind of late for two reasons. One is I was really busy, and then two is my main reason now is that I walked out, and I'm just letting you know I loved it, but I didn't for sure know how I felt about it yet. And so I wanted to, typically whenever I go see a movie and I really want to review it, I'll just straight up give you my review, the day I see it, But this time I really wanted it to sink in. I really wanted to just think about it. It's been in my head for 3 days, this film. It's so special. I wanted to take time and just really process it. And so I did. And so I've finally come to the result, and man, do I love this film. Now, before I get into my review, I am going to let you know I'm doing something different this time. I'm going to try a little new technique, which is I'm going to, instead of making two separate videos of a non-spoiler review and a spoiler review, or just a separate spoiler review or a separate non-spoiler review type thing like that, I'm going to do it to where I'm going to give you my review first, in the first half, and the last half is going to be spoilers. So it's going to be and I will let you know when the spoilers are going to come, so to give you a heads up. But yeah, so the first part is my review. So War for the Planet of the Apes. War for the Planet of the Apes is the third movie in this, I guess you could say, reboot franchise. And very rarely do you ever get those situations where the third in a film, well, first off, you rarely do you ever get a situation where each segment is better than its predecessor. But this time you get it to where the third is the best. That's only happened with 3 movies I can think of. The Return of the King, Born Ultimatum, Toy Story 3. Those are the only films I can think of. No other film, the third has been the best. And this is the fourth. It was so great. So War for the Planet of the Apes stars Andy Serkis, who, by the way, give this man his Oscar. Holy crap, he was so good. And is directed by Matt Reeves. And in this adaptation of this ape's journey, Caesar is struggling. It's a war film, but at the same time, it's not the war that we would think of. Are there action scenes in it? Yes. So that I'm just letting you guys know this, so then you guys don't go in disappointed, I wanted to see war and war and war and war and war. No, this isn't that. There's war at the end, actual live, fighting at the end, and maybe, a little bit in the beginning. It's mostly of a mental war between Woody Harrelson's character and Caesar. And, a war within Caesar himself. He has to try figuring out himself and battle his demons and do all that. And so, War for the Planet of the Apes, in this one, you get the Colonel, played by Woody Harrelson, who pretty much pisses off Caesar to no end. Because Caesar has already been, throughout this franchise, been just progressively getting more pissed, and now he's, at the breaking point. And so, Caesar makes it his journey to track the Colonel down and try to kill the Colonel. And then things go wrong. I'm not really going to get into until maybe the spoiler section. I don't know. But all I'm going to say is things happen, and all hell breaks loose. Now time for the good stuff. So each part, I'm going to start out with what I like the best, and there's only one nitpick about this film that I'm going to share. But the things I love. First off, the performances in this, holy crap. Andy Serkis delivers, I think, the greatest performance I've ever seen from him, first off. He's delivered the best performance of the year, I think. And that's saying something, because I love Hugh Jackman and Logan, but Caesar might have even been better than that. I don't know. Like, he was great. If you guys don't know what motion capture is, it's where they actually take your, like, facial expressions and they put it on, like, and they animate it. So it was really his face. Like, his legit face. He was making all the emotions, all that stuff. And he was impeccable. The guy who played Maurice, I love him so much. I just want to give him a hug. He was amazing. The little girl in this floored me. She was so good. And then, the guy who plays Rocket, all those apes. All the apes are great. What I love about this one is, while all the other ones, sure, they were focused on the apes, but mostly all the other ones would be like, would always kind of have this human aspect that would kind of take away from the apes, even though I love those films. This one is like all focused on the apes. The apes were the main character of this franchise, and this film realizes it and says, okay, these are the main characters. Let's keep them that way, So that I loved. It was all centered around the apes. And I just grew so attached to them. And just, this is such an emotional journey, an emotional war for the audience themselves, which I loved. Another thing I really enjoyed about this film was the score. Talking about emotional, this score is one of the best I've heard. Michael Giacchino is the composer of this film. Typically, Michael Giacchino for me is a hit or miss. Like, his Rogue One soundtrack was kind of meh. Jurassic World soundtrack was good. And then his Spider-Man Homecoming soundtrack was, like one memorable song. And then Doctor Strange was really good. So, like, he's I don't know, he's been a hit and miss. This score was fantastic. Mesmerizing. It was just, oh my gosh. Every single part, it hit you on an emotional level. It fit every single scene. They had it for funny moments. They had it for sad moments. They had it for intense moments. And this movie was intense. They left you on the edge of your seat, like, a lot. It's so great. Going back to performances, though, I can't leave that section. I almost forgot about this. And I'm like, why did I forget about this? This is, like, one of the best parts. Of course, obviously, Andy Serkis is the one that makes the movie because he's Caesar, he's leading it. But the one that almost stole the whole entire show was Bad Ape. And Bad Ape is that one in the trailer. He's like, long time, woman gets smart. That guy, The guy who, he walks out, I see him, a lot of people call him Dobby the Ape. It's so true. Or, I was thinking whenever I first heard his voice, I'm like, is this going to be a Jar Jar Binks? Is this going to be that kind of a guy? No, they did it so perfect. George Lucas, you should have released your prequels after this film, because then you would have learned a really good lesson. To make a guy who can be the comic relief, but still stand grounded within the tone of the film, which I loved. He was hilarious, but then he would also not be too slapstick, to the point where we can't enjoy it, So, yeah, Steve Zahn, I almost didn't even recognize his voice. He was amazing in that role. Woody Harrelson, too, have to mention him. Woody Harrelson played the biggest jerk, like, beyond all jerks. I wanted him to die, like, after his first frame of the movie. I was like, okay, you die, son. And so, like I said, everybody did great. Everybody did. I just wanted to mention those last few things. I cannot fathom how great these visuals are. It's like they've progressed. They've always been great. But the thing is like, the first one, I'm like, okay, I guess I can see how that was, motion capture apes. And then the second one, I'm like, huh, they actually got real apes for this? Interesting. And this one, I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally real. No, this is actually real. Like they physically did not get actors. Those are real apes I'm looking at on screen right now. It's that good, guys. The effects, like the ways, what people are able to do with CGI. All the Weta team, you guys are fantastic. Like what they're able to do nowadays floors me like to no end. I could not believe my eyes what they were seeing. You know, like some of the best visuals I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. If this is not winning a Best Visual Effects Oscar, like, dude, you know, Andy Serkis needs an Oscar. This needs Best Visual Effects Oscar, and my personal opinion, maybe a Best Picture Oscar. That's just me personally. But yeah, this film, guys, this is maybe better than like. This is the best in this franchise. Like I said, making this one of the greatest trilogies of all time. This is my third favorite trilogy of all time. Of all time. It's like Lord of the Rings, the original Star Wars, and then this. This is absolutely a phenomenal trilogy. Where every single one's been great, and it's been getting better and better. And I hope they do end it here. Like, it was a perfect end. Perfect end. It was so good. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I'm missing. I talked about that. The action was pretty cool, but oh yeah, I never thought I'd actually cry at an ape film, a film filled with apes. You know, I cry a lot at Logan. This is pretty much Logan, but with apes, and I cried, and it was emotional, definitely emotional. This film's very dark. Don't bring your kids. It's very dark. It was almost hard for me to watch sometimes. I was like, jeez. But man, just like people need to understand. Like Michael Bay, I'm looking at you when I'm saying this. Okay, this is how you make a blockbuster. This is not those like indie films. This is an actual blockbuster, but you make it just so powerful and relatable and just so great. And not like let's just make all explosions. You know, they like I loved how this was like a physical war, but also a metaphorical war, which is so brilliant to me. And I'm trying to see if there's just anything else to say before I get into spoilers. I'm just doing this out of the top of my head, so I'm just trying to figure out some more things. I will say this before I get into spoilers. My one nitpick. Okay, well, one is like an observation that never took me out of the movie. None of my nitpicks took me out of the movie, to be honest. But I guess so. I guess there's technically two. So one of them is like, okay, it's kind of funny. One nitpick is I'm like, how does a giant gorilla ride a horse? Like, what the heck? And my second negative is there's like this whole, this is in the trailer, so this isn't spoilers, but this is like, there's like this whole field of soldiers and stuff, and lots of times things are happening. I'm like, how did you not notice that? How did you not notice that? What the heck? Huh? What? Huh? You know, so that to me is kind of, but if I had to score this thing, because I'm going to give you my score before I go into spoilers and everything, I would score this thing a 9.8. A 9.8 out of 10. It's that good, guys. This film is a masterpiece. Like, it's the best film of the summer. Easily. This will definitely go down as one of the best films of the year. I think, I don't know, it's between Logan and this. They're both battling for my favorite film of the year, my best film of the year. And if I watch this again, I might actually say this is the best film of the year. I might actually go in and like watch it again, knowing everything about it now, and just loving it even more. And then, so yeah, it's just, I'm speechless still after 3 days just thinking of this film. Like, I went into this review all planned out, and I'm like, it's just got me all riled up, I just love it so much. It was a perfect wrap up, a perfect conclusion to Caesar's story, Caesar's emotional last story. It was so great. So do yourself a favor, guys. If you've not seen it, do yourself a favor. Hit the theaters immediately. It's #1 at the box office this week. That means it's really good. People are loving it. So do yourself a favor. Please go watch War for Planet of the Apes. If you haven't seen the other two, go see the other two. I did a mega unboxing where you can go and buy yourself the Blu-rays on Amazon. I even put the link in the description below so you can buy the Blu-rays to the Rise and Dawn. Go do that, because though this will tell you everything that happens in Rise and Dawn, it's not the same. Like, for me, I actually cried at this movie because of my journey with Caesar. And it was just so powerful. This is the second film I ever gave a standing ovation this year. Logan was the first. And this is just one of the best experiences I've seen in cinema all year. Now time for spoilers. If you don't want anything spoiled for you, I recommend just, leave now. Yeah. Okay, so on to spoilers. You still here? Just giving you guys a heads up, because you need to experience this film. If you're still here and you've not seen this film, leave now. Bad 8. But yeah. I can do this. Okay, so now for the emotional parts. I'm going to start out with the death, that I didn't predict, so I was like, what the heck? Is the death of Caesar's wife and kid. When the colonel shoots them dead, I was like, screw you to all end and die right now. Then sadly, he doesn't die to the very end, and it's like Caesar has to do his whole thing himself, but at the same time he doesn't. This is spoilers, so you know what he does. He sticks a gun up to his head, but then he's all like, no, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna kill you. It's a really hard time for him. He wants to kill him so bad, but he just won't pull that trigger. And then he just lets him kill himself, because he was gonna kill himself anyways. Yeah, that got me, because I grew attached to those characters, loved them, and I'm like, they didn't deserve that. What the heck, man? He had no heart. He just hated Caesar and all those apes to no end. It was just, it sucked. And then, second thing under spoilers, I do want to mention is the part where Caesar dies. That was like a Logan moment, Just, he gets stabbed in the side, and he's just leaning to the side, about to die. And, Maurice is saying people will remember you, he went on this whole way and says he needs to die at this point. He lost his family. He wants to die. And, so he got to die bringing everyone to safety and being this amazing leader. That's why it's such a great conclusion to his story. It was so brilliant. But Caesar dying the way he did was a really, really good send-off. Right beside Maurice, who traveled a long way with him. And, the guard who shot him, you saw Donkey, the ape guy, go and shoot him, and then he got shot in the head, and I was like, oh dude, you were the hero last second, come on man, what the heck. Um, but yeah, the way Caesar, the way that ended was really good. And to me, though I might have cried harder at Logan's death, because I did cry harder at his death, I think that like one reason I was more emotional towards Caesar when he died was because of the fact he died right beside Maurice. And the fact that him and Maurice grew this relationship so well with each other through all three of these movies. And it was just remarkable. And so that is to me, because in Logan, the daughter and him, they only got to know each other like in that movie, and then so you didn't really get to get several movies to develop Laura's character. This you got several movies to develop Maurice. But yeah, so those are some of the major things I wanted to touch on in spoilers. Is there anything else to spoil? I'm just trying to make sure I got everything down. I will say another thing, this is just a minor nitpick as well too, is there's an avalanche scene where, get what I'm talking about, guys, where the avalanche happens in the third act, and it's like, and all the people are like, ah! And I'm like, how'd that happen? I was sort of confused during that part. I was like, how did that happen? Okay, interesting. But I mean, other than that, the dude, great film. It was. You guys know how great it was. If you guys are watching the spoiler section, it was absolutely phenomenal. So, is there anything else? I don't think there is. I mean, I could go just all day talking about this film, but I'm just trying to, I guess, talk about the major parts, like there's some stuff I realized I missed in the non-spoiler section, but I couldn't get to all that because I'm like, I'm already 22 minutes into this, and like I need to end this review soon. So it was an excellent film, guys. If somehow you're watching this spoiler section and you haven't seen the film and you just got all the best stuff spoiled for you, go see it anyways. It's still a great experience to have on screen. You would love this film. If you have seen it, what did you think about it? Comment below. Let me know. What's your favorite trilogy of all time? Is this better than any of the other Ape films? Is this your favorite Apes film out of all of them? Is this your favorite film of the year? Let me know a few of these things. I want to have a conversation with you. I've seen a few of you guys commenting in my videos here and there. I want to be able to do that with you more. So that'll do it for this review, guys. I have a lot more reviews coming to you along the way. Stay tuned this week. There's going to be a lot more stuff happening. And so stay tuned for that. Love you guys. And until later, bye-bye.